Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yesterday we discussed another verse from Sri Venugit in which gopis are discussing the sentiments of their hearts, in which gopis are glorifying Krishna and Balaram together. This is such a beautiful point. Why are they worshipping Krishna and Balaram together? The beauty of Krishna and Balaram, because of shyness and Maryada, their hesitation. Because if they only glorify the beauty of Krishna, then their love would be revealed towards Krishna. And if they glorify both Krishna and Balaram, then it will be like, okay, they are glorifying both the brothers. So there is no one can understand what is their internal mood towards Krishna. That is why the gopis describe the beauty of both Krishna and Balram, and by this they try to hide the anurag which is hidden in their heart for Krishna, anurag for Krishna. Now let's hear further. These Braj Ramaniyas, these Braj gopis, they are speaking among each other with these two brothers, Krishna and Balram, when they go to the forest with the cows for cow grazing and with their friends at that time, their at the time it's very difficult, it becomes very difficult for anyone to describe their beauty. Roop Madhuri. Okay, first they explained their beauty of Krishna and Balaram. And then they're saying that their beauty is unparalleled, anupam. It's not possible for anyone to describe how beautiful they are. So, how did they describe it initially then? They did it. Gopis did it as per their one mood. Now they are not able to. Why? Because in the heart, love is love is having different waves. No, no, we cannot. We cannot glorify them. Like this is not the topic, but in relation to this, Lord Brahma, he sang Brahm Samiti in 10th canto Bhagavatam. He said, where Brahma is doing all stuff stutis for Krishna, and initially he said many things, but then he said one point. Initially, Brahmaji explained so many things about Krishna, his opulence, Ashwarya opulence, and then he said, let whatever anybody wants to speak or say, but I don't believe. What I don't believe? That Janantam eva Jananto, it's that verse from Shri Brahma Samhita. By my mind, body, words, O Krishna, I I cannot count, describe your opulence, your Vaibhav opulence. I give up. Your opulence is so, it's like it can't be described. Your opulence. So Brahmaji first he described Krishna's opulence. The entire Brahma Samhita is about Krishna's opulence. Govindam Adi Purusham Taham Bhajami. Ishwar Param Krishna, all these, he said all these verses, Brahmaji. And then he's saying, no, 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 no. I cannot count or describe. It's a very high level of thing. Similarly, initially, gopis first described the Roop Madhuri, beauty of Krishna and Balram. This Venu Geet, it's so beautiful. This is such a beautiful Geet. It's full of ras. Gurudev's favorite, Venu Geet. Gurudev would speak this Venu Geet, Katha of Venu Geet, and he would get absorbed in this. He would get absorbed in Radharani's bhav, and he would take the side of Radharani, and then he would speak Harikatha. Gurudev would take the side of Radharani and speak Harikatha. You would say in spiritual world also there is side? Yes, definitely. And why not? We are Pakshpati, we do take sides. I'm not saying this is not my adhikar. Gurudev used to say, we Amito Radhika Pakshpati Sada Kabuna Heri Take. Our Gurujan Bhaktivinoda Thakur has taught us in bhajan, for bhajan, Amito Radhika Pakshpati Sada. I will always take the side of Radharani, where Krishna is being glorified and Radharani is not being glorified. I will keep mum there. I'll keep quiet there. Quietness means, what does it mean to be quiet? This has lots of levels. Ordinary, ordinary, ordinary language, it means don't talk to anyone. For 1 week, for 7 days, I will not speak anything. If I want to speak, then I'll just use some signs by using my fingers like this. But I will not speak a single word. That's also called Mohan Vrat, means fasting from the speech. But this is of old fashion. Now this fast has become very easy. How? I will not talk, but then I will WhatsApp. I'll text you. I can message if I can't use my tongue. So this fasting from speech is very simple, but in reality, the Mohan Vrat means fasting from speech is which Shivdev Goswami did. What he did that in reality is real Mohan Vrat. For 7 days, 7 nights, 24/7, he spoke the Katha of Bhagavatam. This is called real fasting from speech. If you do this, then it's a big thing. But there's one more level beyond this. Which one? When I see Krishna and Radha Rani arguing with each other. Prem Kalhe, loving argument, transcendental argument. One argument is, I will not talk to you. I will not. And then that's it, finish. Another is Prem Kalha, where there is argument, but love is increasing. That argument is not decreasing the love. This is unique. There is argument, but this is not decreasing the love. In fact, it's increasing the love. This is called Prem Kalha. So Radha Rani and Krishna, when they are having Prem Kalha and Radha Rani is getting defeated, she's not winning, then I will keep quiet. This is one more level. There I will be quiet. I will not take the side of Krishna. I will take the side of Radha Rani, and by taking her side, I will be quiet. But there's one more level. I will not keep quiet. I will take the side of Radha Rani and defeat the Sakhas of Krishna. I want to defeat Krishna. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Amrita Radhika Sada Pakshipati Sada. I will Kabuna Heri Take. I don't know anything else. So here you have to take the side, either take the side of Krishna or Radharani. But we are not here to take the side of Krishna. Our acharyas have taught us what? To take the side of Radhaji. And where Radharani is winning and Krishna is losing, Then I would clap with both my hands. All gopis would clap. Krishna got defeated. Krishna got defeated, and our Radha Rani, she won. This is called Amito Radhika Pakshpati Sada. So this Venu Geet is so beautiful, so madhur, full of rasas. It's the moods of gopis. What conversation they all had together, the gopis. It has madhure, and this is the subject to relish. But side by side, we must also get inspired. There is some inspiration for us as well. What is that inspiration? No one should think, people should not think that we took such a high level of scripture. It's only about gopis and there's no instruction for a sadhak like us. There's no updesh here. No, it is there. You just get jump into this. There is instruction for us. We can understand the points of Bhagavad Gita from Venu Geet. From where Bhagavad Gita comes in Venu Geet? Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Krishna. Venu Geet is spoken by gopis. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Man mana bhav mad bhakto mad yaji mam namaskuru. Give your mind to me. Completely give your mind to me. How? How you will give? Like Dhruv, like Prahlad, like Ambarish Maharaj, like Bharat, King Bharat, like Sakhas, like Yashoda? No, leave all these aside. Like Braj Gopis, because only they 1000% are completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness. This is called Manmanabhav. That is why these this Venu Gita is full of Updesh. Only if you dive into it. What gopis talk? What are their moods? What is their Maryada in this Venu Gita? So this Rup Madhuri is not easy for us to describe. Gopis are saying this. Gopis. So many gopis are together. They are some is saying something else, some is saying something else. This is very interesting. One gopi speaking to another gopi. In between, there's a dialogue going on. Oh, Sakhi, oh, my friend. Re, they call it like this. They address other like this. Re. Re means where there is intimacy. Like we say, oh, are, come here. Are, oh, you come here. Are. So they say that like this in Hindi actually. When you are someone close to you, you call them like this. So they are calling each other like this. Re Sakhi. Oh, my friend. We can look at Krishna from distance. We can relish his beauty from distance. We can see his beauty from distance. But we can't go near him. By going near him, we can't go near him to relish his beauty of his lips. We can't take nectar of his beauty by going near him because Balram is there with him. We will feel shy, hesitation. How is it possible? Balram is there together with Krishna, and gopis are saying, we want to embrace Krishna. It's impossible. They can't even get closer to Krishna because they feel shy. So they are talking to each other and they're saying, we can't go near Sham Sundar because Balram is there with Sham Sundar. And another Sakhi said, oh, you Nirbuddhe. Nirbuddhe means you have no knowledge. Don't worry, relax. Krishna will look at us through and he will beg for some pranay. And that time we will lose our shyness and hesitation. I will explain it now. Oh, you foolish person, you lack knowledge. You have no knowledge. Nirbuddhe. Why do you worry? That Krishna, we can't go near Krishna. We can't embrace Krishna. Because Balram Dauji is there with Krishna. Don't worry. Krishna is very Vidabd. Vidabd means he is very expert. Expert is not the right word. Vidab means clever, one who's very good in planning the meetings. He will make sure it will become successful, the meeting. In that, he is very expert. So Vidagd also means smart. He will surely make some way out, Krishna. So you don't worry, friend. Why do you worry? Krishna will definitely look at us, and with his eyebrow, it's called Rubhangi, he will beg for prem. What kind of art is this? This is an art. This is called Vidagd. Krishna is Vidagd Shiromani, because through eyes only, or especially through eyebrows, Dhrubhangi is called Dhrubhangi. Many things can be said. Even eyes do speak. Not just by your tongue you speak, but you also speak by your eyes without using any speech. So Krishna would beg from us. Beg for what? Beg for prem. He would beg. The master is actually a beggar, Krishna. Brajraj Braj Bihari. Sri Krishna is the king of Braj. Who made him Rajkumar? Nand Baba. But that prince in Braj begs to gopis. The son of Nand Maharaj, even though he is a prince, but he begs in Braj. He begs for pranay. Pranay. Sneh man pranay. Pranay means not just love. It's deep condensed love, pranay, which has lots of sneh. It's full of sneh. Now for this I need Ujjwal Neelmani Granth. From that I can define pranay, and you will be amazed. Pranay is such a beautiful word, which is not just indication of prem, but when that love becomes more condensed, then that love accepts the form of pranay. Krishna with his eyebrow, he begs for pranay from gopis. Gopis have complete faith. So do you don't worry, Gopi or friend. Krishna will definitely look at us, and through his eyebrow he would beg for pranay from us. And when he would beg, then what would happen? Our shyness, which we have maintaining, this hesitation, society regulations, obligations, which we are maintaining, what the society would think, our patience, all this would go away. We would lose them. This is how he would beg. What does it mean? I hope you are understanding this. Sham Sundar would look at us through his eyebrows. He would beg for pranay, and then we would lose our patience, shyness, and hesitation. Everything. It would all go away. Why? Why this will happen? Because even he wants this, that he should come near us. Krishna wants to go near gopis, and he wants to meet gopis. Not that only gopis want to meet Krishna, even Krishna wants to meet gopis. But who is with him? With Krishna? Dauji, Balram Prabhu. So there is hesitation. So someone can say that Daoji is disturbance here. Baldev, if he would have been there, then their meeting would have been so easy. This is what they don't want to let it happen. The meeting should not be so feasible, it's not so easy. For that only so much foundation is being built up. If meeting becomes very easy, then it can't be enjoyed so much. But for meeting, they should be hankering to communicate with each other. They're getting enthusiasm. So Daoji, he's not an obstacle there. He's he's enhancing the mood of actually meeting. He increases the excitement, Daoji, or Gopis and Krishna for their meeting. So Krishna is also eager to meet gopis. If we can understand this from this verse, that gopis understand the internal moods of Krishna, and this is how they speak among each other because they understand the moods of Krishna, because he will also beg for pranay, and then we will lose our pressure of society. Let's go, Sakhi, let's go. Let's see once, then we will think what will happen. So they completely surrendered the gopis. Let's go to Krishna. Let's go to Krishna. Whatever will happen, we would deal with it later on. But they are not really walking. They just express their feelings. Yes, we will go near Krishna. Let's see what will happen. They just spoke like this. They didn't really walk. They didn't really walk. So the first Saki who said, "We can't go," she's speaking now. Oh no, that's not possible. Being with Dauji, we can now never go near Krishna when Krishna is with Dauji. If Dauji's Balram is there with Krishna, I can never go near Krishna. I'll become nervous. Dauji is also not less. He will understand if he understands the mood of my internal moods, then what will happen? Why I came near Krishna? If he knows this, then I feel very shy. But simultaneously, they are feeling shy also, shyness, and they also losing their patience. They want Krishna to look at them. They are losing patience. I can never go in front of Krishna when he's standing next to Dauji. And Sakhi, our husbands, our father in law, our other family members, they will stop us. They won't let us go to Krishna. And what else would happen? All the Gurujan of the village, uncles, great grandfather, fatherly figures, motherly figures, they will chastise us. They would blame us. They won't spare us. Why you went near Krishna? What is your relationship with Krishna? Be in your limitations, in your limits. Don't cross your limits. This is how we will be chastised. So there are so many obstacles for gopis. First, Dauji. When he is there, they can't go near Krishna. Second, our husbands and father-in-laws and family. This is internal family thing. Husband will not leave us. Father-in-law will not leave us. Mother-in-law would not leave us. No one would spare us. No one would let us go near Krishna. And all the senior citizens of the village who are Guru Tulya, Guru, fatherly figure, and all those, they would chastise us. So that's why I think that going for us to go near Krishna is not the right decision. We should not go. Hearing this, another gopi replied, by hearing all this discussion, other gopi said this verse. Oh Sakhiri, when Krishna, oh, the buds of mango tree, the fresh buds, the new leaves of mango tree, that those Krishna put on his head, and also peacock feather, and the bunch of flowers, which are very beautiful, bunches of them. Not ordinary flowers. These are flowers in bundle. Gurudev is. Yesterday, when Mata got me garland, which was completely wet, it was given to me, and I got wet as well. And her feelings, she was feeling sad. I got a garland for him, but he didn't wear it. I promised him, "Don't worry, I'll wear it." But after 12 hours, when it becomes dry, so I accepted her feelings. So the bunch of flowers which are so thick, different flowers, different types of flowers. Krishna is wearing this kind of garland actually. In his earrings, what? Ears, beautiful. kundals in his ears. Krishna is wearing. And these kundals are not of jewels, they are made of flowers and leaves. Kundal. And in his left hand there is a flower, lotus flower. And Krishna moves it like this in circular form. Means, one second. Gurudev is showing one direction. He moves the lotus like this, Krishna, like this. It has 2 points. Why Krishna does like this to the lotus flower? Either it's someone's weakness, they are nervous, then they move their whatever is in their hand, they move it. Like uh, this is like a weak point. When you're nervous, then you move your fingers or whatever is in your hand. Or someone will scratch their hair or touch their face. It's so this is like weak points. Like when I used to study, it's a very old thing. I don't know if I should speak or not about this. So I was very shy. I would not sit in the front bench in the. I'm just giving one example. It's not about Katha actually. But I, I joined one course, the How to Sell Your Product. It was an important course, and I got certified. So 35 students were there in the class, and the teacher would teach us that how. Two teachers were there. How we can sell our product. It was about sales. So all students became nervous. The teacher is saying, you come in the class, sit in the front bench and try to sell me a pen. Like I am the MD of the company, you are a salesman. And you come to me and then you sell this pen to me. So all the students who are coming, all the students are getting nervous actually. Oh, sir, this is the pen of our company. It's a very nice pen. It has a very nice finishing. You must buy this. And our sir picked up the pen and he threw it. See, I have so many pens. So why this pen? Why it's so special? I don't like your product. So he started doing this like this. How do I sell? Sir said just no directly. Okay, you go. Second student, second, third. It was the session of the entire 1 week because all students would come in the front and speak. They have to sell the pen. Someone would do scratch like this. So, madam made nervous to all the students. But two students were such who made their teacher nervous. And that was me and my friend. I'm not praising myself. But exactly this is what happened. When my name was called that now it's your turn, then I went in the front and from many days I was observing what should I speak, what should I speak. When I came, I said, ma'am, this is our company is very reputed and these are very nice pens. And you see there's a rubber behind this. It has light as well. In other pens, it's not there. What are you saying? No, there's so many such products we have. We have lots of fancy pens. Teacher is saying this. I don't want your pen. So when everyone became nervous, I asked to the teacher, why you don't want this pen? You tell me that. Why you don't want it? What have you seen in this? You have to answer me. Then she started doing like this. So I told the students, see today our madam is getting nervous. She's touching her face like this. So the ma'am became nervous, the teacher, and later on she said, "Oh, this was a nice point. You made nervous to me." But anyways, here Krishna, I don't know why I spoke this point. Krishna has a lotus flower in his hand and he rotates it. Here there are 2 points which we have to understand. Either he's thinking something because he's a good planner, so he has to think and plan. And many people just when people think, then they bite their nails. So either Krishna here when he's moving the lotus in, either he's nervous or he's thinking. So Sham Sundar is sitting. He has fresh buds, leaves, fresh leaves, buds of mango on his head, and peacock feather and flower garland, and in his ears he has small leaves, and in his hand he has Neel Kamal, blue lotus. In his around his neck he has Kumud garland, and Krishna also has a yellow pitambar, and Balram Prabhu on his fair body has Nilambar, means blue cloth. Krishna wears Pitambar and Balram wears Nilambar, the blue cloth. And this makes their vesh very beautiful because this is a contrast. Krishna is Savla and he's wearing Pitambar, yellow color, and Balram is fair complexion and he's wearing blue, and both are together, multicolors. Such a contrast, and they are standing with next to each other, and this increases their beauty of both of them, and this makes their beauty very attractive, unique. And the sakhas, they keep going in their meetings, and then simultaneously Krishna plays Venugeet. Sometimes Sakha, sometimes Krishna starts singing, and sometimes Balram also sings. So simultaneously, music is also going on, Kirtan is also going on. So the first Sakhi said, my beloved Sakhi, that time, for example, two expert, smart, clever, nut, nut, they they came on the stage and they're performing their performance. Two expert dancers with their entire shingar, they are giving stage performance, means they are performing at Rang Manch, stage performance. What should I speak? At that time, Krishna looks so beautiful. It's difficult to describe this lack of words, but he's too beautiful. So gopis are speaking like this among each other. So sometimes gopis say we can't go near Krishna because Balaram is there. But then other gopi answers saying, don't worry, even Krishna wants to come near us and he would beg from us pranay. That means even he is eager to meet us. Then they said, no, if we go near Krishna, then all these people of the village would chastise us. They would say bad things to us. So all this conversation during this, the first Sakhi, she's saying what? No, such a beautiful form of Krishna and Balram and this Shingar. By saying this, my mind doesn't get satiated. And sometimes among Sakha Mandali, both brothers, they get absorbed and they dance so nice. Seeing them, people say of Sakha Mandali, sadhu, 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 giving sadhuvad. Krishna and Balram both, they're they're very great expert dancers. Don't think only Krishna is a good dancer. Daoji also knows very good dance, and when he dances, then everyone starts playing instruments. And Daoji sings, and he starts singing different types of rags. Means, for example, if two people who dance, and when they coordinate with each other, we will move like this, we will hold hands like this, and whatever their steps are, their beauty can't be described. Simple. So the sakhas are seeing the dance of sakha, and they say, sadhu, sadhu, such a beautiful dance, such a beautiful dance, such a beautiful dance, three times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. This is a very civilized language. Sorry, sabhe. Sabhe means very formal. As per Sadhu language in Vrindavan, Vaishnavas, when they hear a very nice bhajan or they hear very nice Harikatha from someone, then they are called, then they glorify. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu means you're very expert. This is one word. This is the way to explain this actually. When both the brothers, sometimes they become emotional. Or then these Krishna and Balram challenge Sakhas, can you dance like us? If yes, then do it and show us. They both have one Sarup, Krishna and Balram. There's no difference between them. Both Krishna and Balram are Vishay Vigraha, enjoyers. Enjoyers. Both Krishna and Balram. But Balram has one additional quality. He's Vishay Vigraha, at the same time, he's Ashray Vigraha. He's the enjoyer, but also he's a servant. He serves Krishna. So the enjoyer and the one second. Okay, they had worshipped together. When Kans was killed by Krishna, Krishna and Balram, they went to the jail, prison to free Devaki and Vasudev, and they both stood up with their hands folded and they spoke this verse. You both are not my uh, children, you both are my Ishwar, Bhagwan, Isht. That possessiveness about Ishwar, that's called bona fide ego, real ego, not false ego. But inside us is false ego, mithya abhiman. We think we are this body. Actually, it's not. When we die, then we will realize, we will give up all realizations. But as long as we have this body, we have this abhiman that I am this body. But uh, the abhiman, pride which Krishna has, that's pure, transcendental, shuddh. Krishna likes to glorify himself actually. And he calls his sakhas, can you dance like me? Can you sing like this? If yes, then do it and show it to me. One side, Krishna Balram are doing nritya, dance. Another side, same Krishna Balram, they became Nityan Prabhu and Mahaprabhu and they did nritya in Navdeep. Who are Nityan Prabhu and Mahaprabhu? They are also Bhagwan, Ishwar. So the darshan which we take in Mayapur is called, that place is called Isho Udyan. Udyan means garden, and Isho means where two Ishwars meet, Nityan Prabhu and Mahaprabhu. When they meet in Sri Mayapur, let's recap a bit. Nityan Prabhu came to Vrindavan for darshan. Mahaprabhu is in Mayapur. So Nityan Prabhu saw Saptam Devale and he saw all the Singhasans are empty. There should be Krishna on these altars. So he became worried. Nityanand Prabhu, Kanai Kuthai, Kanai Kuthai, Kanai Kuthai, where is my Krishna? Where is my Krishna? So everyone said, "You Krishna." Now he doesn't live in Vrindavan. Oh, he moved to Mayapur. Nityanand Prabhu ran. That time there was no train, no cars, nothing. From Vrindavan, coming to Navdeep means around 1500 kilometers. Nityanand Prabhu came to Mayapur and he Nandan Acharya Bhavan. He hid himself in Nandan Acharya's Bhavan. If my Kanai, Nityan Prabhu is, who is Nityan Prabhu? Balram. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is who? Krishna. So Nityan Prabhu in Kali Yuga, he came around 540 years back, and that Nityan Prabhu, when he reached Mayapur, Nandan Acharya Bhavan, Nandan Acharya he is a devotee, and he hid himself in that house, that bhavan. If really my Kanai has taken birth here in Mayapur, and he lives in Mayapur, then he must definitely find me. So Nityan Prabhu hid himself, and Mahaprabhu was living nearby Srivas Pandit's house. Mahaprabhu performed dance, and he sat down, and all the devotees, boys, they were sent. You go, you all go, and find in Navdeep there is a great soul who has come. Go and find out. Everyone starts looking here and there, here and there. No Mahapurush is there. No Mahapurush is there. Mahaprabhu is saying Mahapurush has come. So they all came empty hand. Mahaprabhu, there's no Mahapurush. You don't know. You all come with me. So along with all devotees, Mahaprabhu did nritya, dance, and not going here and there. He went directly to Nanda Acharya Bhavan, where Nityan Prabhu was hiding himself. And Nityan Prabhu was thinking, if my Kanai Krishna is in Mayapur, then I would take out Mukut. And Mahaprabhu understood where my Nityan Prabhu and Mahaprabhu are. So he ran. And when he saw each other, Nitai, 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 and Nityan Prabhu seeing Mahaprabhu, he is doing Kanai, Kanai, Kanai. Kanai means Krishna. So both are Ishwar. They embraced each other. Nandanacharya Bhavan. So that place became Ishodhyan. Ish means Ishwar, and Isho means two Ishwar. Means Mahaprabhu and Nityan Prabhu. Means Krishna and Balram. The garden in which they met, that garden became Ishodhyan. So, so when they met, they celebrate. They sing, they do kirtan, they dance. And then, okay, so they don't say to their friend, can you dance like me? Can you dance like me? Can someone sing like us? If yes, then come. Come and show me. Mahaprabhu won't speak like this. Nityan also won't speak like this. Krishna Balram can say like this to their sakhas. Krishna is dancing on the funds of Krishna Kalya, and still he is challenging. Is there anyone who can dance on the fun of the snake? If yes, then show me. But Mahaprabhu, not like that. He is very sober, deenheen, humble, completely absorbed in bhav. Tears roll from his eyes, with his hands up in the air. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. They were not staying alone, they were staying with all their God brothers, and they would do Sankirtan in the streets of Nadia, Udilo Aruna, this bhajan of Nityan Prabhu. Udilo Aruna. This reminded me of Navdeep, where Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu, with all their devotees, with their hands up in the air, they do Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And Mukund Madhav, they chant the names of Bhagwan. Actually, they are chanting their own names, right? Because Krishna and Balaram are same. You all also come to Navdeep. Those who have never did Parikrama of Navdeep till now, or those who have seen, all of you come for Navdeep Parikrama. It's going to start from 8th March and go until 14th March this year. If you can't come for the entire week, then come for at least few days. That touch of the dham is okay. Just by visiting the dham, you feel like the entire sansar is chanting the names of Bhagwan. From all directions, there is singing in kirtan, Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Try to realize this once. Try to get its experience once. There may be 6,000 people. Only do meditation. You'll feel nice. You won't get a dining table to eat your lunch. No spoons, no chammach. Only by sitting on the ground. Okay. Uh, so doing kirtan, having prasadam together, and then doing haribol, haribol, haribol. Our Gurudev would say one thing that for 6 7 days, because it's so crowded, this is kind of tapasya, austerity, and the devotee thinks, next time I will not go. This is my one time experience. I wanted to do it, I did it. But once you experience, and then next year, if the announcement is done, Parikrama is going on, we will definitely go. Let's book the ticket. Last time we thought, because there is no facility. Next time I will not go, no matter what. I have been seeing people from last 20 years, devotees, who are rich people, well-off people, where there are so many servants, they don't even need to pick up their glass of water. Servants come, but they come to Navdeep by anyhow by doing Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And in their heart, only Navdeep and Mayapur Dham, whatever, waves of love, prem in your heart. Vrindavan is little slightly difficult, but Mayapur Navdeep, they are Kripa Mai Dham. They give Kripa, mercy, where no one can stand or decide without dancing, where Mahaprabhu, Nityan Prabhu, they do nritya. That is why no matter what, take holiday, chutti, wherever you are, North India, South India, wherever you are, Gujarat, try coming here once. Try coming to Mayapur Navadvip Dham once. Guarantee next year you would want to come. You would want more and more this desire. Because if someone goes back, they don't go empty hand. Sorry, empty heart. He has some confusion in his, uh, sorry, Mahaprabhu's kripa, Gaurdham kripa. He feels it. He feels it, and then transformation happens. He sees his life being changed. Raise your hands, those who are experienced. Janvi Didi, Gurudev is taking the names. She thinks I will not go next year. It's very difficult. But she's the one who books the ticket first. Our other Matajis are also like this. They will definitely go. सास चाहे मारे, ननद लतकारे, पति ताने दे, रिश्तेदार कुछ भी कहे, मैं तो जरूर जाऊंगी. Means I have taken a vow because that dham has special ras, nectar. Vrindavan is different, Mayapur is different. Without dancing, you can't, relish the aarti. It can't be. It can't be possible. So wherever Mahaprabhu and Nityan Prabhu also dances, and they make sure all devotees dance. You and me can also go there and dance for hours. Not one mridanga, 10, all the devotees. It's coming soon. God Purnima is coming very soon, actually. And similarly, Krishna Balram, they do dancing with pride. Sakhas can't dance. That is why Bhavvati, completely absorbed in Bhav. Paripurn word is used here, Paripurn. These Braj Ranias, Braj Gopis, they are hiding Krishna Prem which is inside their heart. They're hiding that Krishna Prem and they are glorifying both these brothers together, Krishna and Balram. We heard yesterday how you can't glorify Balram alone. You have to worship Balram Krishna together. But their turban, sorry, one second. Uh, Gopis, these gopis are speaking to each other that in their heart there is Krishna Prem. This we want to hide, we don't want to describe or disclose this. So they are glorifying both Krishna and Balram, but their style of speaking, ang pratang, body language, their how is his face, sorry, Gopi's face, how are they speaking? This shows, oh Sakhi, in Brajan there is only one Gop, Gop. It's a secret which they revealed here actually, the Gopis. In reality, in the entire Braj, if someone is really lucky, so bhagishali, fortunate, who are they? These Sakhas. Why these sakhas are lucky? Because always by the inside the house are forest. They live near Krishna and they play with Krishna. They touch the limbs of Krishna and they dance and sing with Krishna. And they always take Krishna's darshan. But Vidhata made us what? Gopi birth. And because of this, we cannot do like this service of Krishna. There is one common thing in entire Venugit, you can realize it, understand it. Gopis are chastising themselves. Oh, why we became a gopi? Why we became a gopi? But reality, becoming a gopi, daddy gopi they is lucky. They think we are very low and others are higher than us. Right now, they are just speaking like this about sakhas that they are so fortunate. These sakhas, they live inside the house, they think of gopis, sorry, they think of Krishna. They go to the forest, they can play with him, eat with him, touch him. No one would stop them. They can take Krishna's darshan always. But we gopis don't know why this creator gave us this gopi birth. All the problems are on us. They have no problem. It's easy to become a friend of Krishna. Gopis are saying this. In further verses, they would say, oh, it's better to become a deer. Because these she deers, when they take darshan of Krishna, then their husbands, uh, they don't stop them. Oh, these rivers are so fortunate. It gets lotus flowers, and those flowers are to be offered to Krishna. They are so lucky. This peacock is so lucky. It sees Krishna and dances. In everything, they think they're very low and others are very high, better than them. And that's why they are glorifying others. This is the symptom of what? Krishna Prem. This love is such a thing where yes is yes or no is no. Where one takes the entire darshan of Krishna, or those who are not taking the darshan of Krishna, who is senior in this. Someone will say, I see the entire darshan of Krishna. That's the top thing. But Radharani is saying, I've not never taken complete darshan of Krishna yet. So who is senior now? The one who is taking proper darshan or one who is not taking? The one who is not taking proper darshan is he becomes serious. This is all about love, and the waves of love they go opposite side. The river of prem, love, goes other side. I always say in Vrindavan there are two rivers. One is Yamuna ji, another one is Prem ji. Prem, river love, river Prem, and Yamuna. Yamuna is straight. The river Prem, the river of love, is different. Let's end it here today by hearing that gopis are saying, oh, why this creator gave us this gopi form from female birth. Why we got a female birth? We should have been sakha, because these sakhas are so fortunate. No one can stop them. They play with Krishna. They touch Krishna's limbs. They dance with Krishna. They sing kirtan. They take darshan of Krishna. Oh, we have been left out. We have been left out completely. And on top of that, we are kul vadhu. We are married woman. We are married. We cannot take proper complete darshan of Krishna, because if we do, then mother-in-law calls me, or while I'm doing, then Balram would come with along with Krishna. So this is how a devotee should feel bad. If we are not gopi, then we would have been gopas, and we would have always take darshan of Krishna. And this is how our life would have become fortunate, success. But right now, our fortunate hasn't come. Life is not auspicious yet. Life is not great. So, its conclusion ending is, if Vrindavan's Braj Gopis, their fortune, uh, it's Gopis have huge adhikar and topmost on Krishna, because Krishna can't live without Gopis and Radharani. Still, he Gopis are saying we are very unfortunate. Oh, it's our miss unfortunate. And by saying this, they are becoming humble. This is the symptom of pure love. Spontaneous nature of pure love is feeling oneself more humble than the blade of grass, being tolerant more than a tree, not expecting any respect, and giving honor to others. Giving honor to others without worrying about one's, uh, what do we say, become more tolerant than a tree, become more dinhin than a blade of grass, and those who get prem, they never say they got prem. They say I never got prem, and those who don't have, they keep on describing, I love, I have love, I have love. Empty utensils make huge noise. If you put something, and if that container is full, there won't be any sound of disturbance. The one with lots of prem always thinks every second that I have no love, no trace of love. And those who have no love, but they still keep on glorifying themselves. I have prayed for Krishna. I have prayed for Krishna. This is a very or they think I have no trace of even prem. See, Shukdev Goswami's heart. This is a beautiful point which Maharaj just said. This shlok is spoken by Shukdev Goswami, and Shukdev Goswami has attained. So Gopi's mind right now is completely synced. Whatever Krishna is speaking, that's after he's absorbed in the okay. So in short, their mind is absorbed in Krishna, and Krishna's mind is absorbed in Gopis, and that's why Gopis are describing the sakhas of Krishna. So this is how this chapter ends here, and tomorrow morning we will take the next verse from here. Hare Krishna.